PayneAutomall.com.
Happy Thursday. This is the Valley's Morning News on News Talk 710 KURV. It's July 3rd, 2025. Along with show producer Fred Cruz, I'm Sergio Sanchez. We got AccuWeather meteorologist Jeffrey Nordine on standby. Any rain in that forecast? We hope not. There's lots of fireworks. Many communities in South Texas will be holding shows starting tonight and into tomorrow night as well. Speaking of the 4th of July Independence Day weekend, it is that time again. No refusal. Local law enforcement, Cameron County, Hidalgo County, will not be taking no for an answer if they pull you over and they suspect DWI. It's the DWI No Refusal Initiative. Anyone stopped for suspected impairment will be asked to take a breath test or give a blood sample. You say no, you'll be taken into custody, and you'll definitely have to give a blood sample. 4th of July Independence Day celebration, specifically for the city of FAR, that one has been canceled as a result of all the rain over the past several days. The area where they normally celebrate is muddy. There's too much mud, so they canceled in the city of FAR. McAllen is moving forward with their 4th of July celebration. Independence Day celebration starts with a morning run. They have activities at the park. Of course, the Main Street Parade in the morning as well on the 4th. And, of course, the big fireworks show at 9 p.m. Listen to the music for that fireworks show right here at 710 KURV. Turn on your radio, or with your smart device, open up that lawn chair and open up the Radio Para Mi app and listen to us online. 9 p.m. tomorrow, the music on 710 KURV for the City of McAllen fireworks show. SpaceX also celebrating American independence at Boca Chica Beach. The event beginning at 7. We have some local politicians participating. They've got their fireworks show over at Boca Chica SpaceX at 8:45. At 7:07 on the Valley's Morning News. President Trump's executive order banning asylum claims at the U.S.-Mexican border has been rejected by a federal judge.
In a 128-page opinion, U.S. District Judge Randolph Moss ruled that President Trump exceeded his authority when he issued a proclamation in January declaring illegal immigration an emergency, denying legal process to all migrants that Trump said were invading the southern border. The ACLU challenged Trump's ban in February, arguing it validated U.S. laws and international treaties. Judge Moss postponed enforcement of his decision for 2 weeks to give the Trump administration time to file an appeal. In Austin, Chris Fox, News Talk 710 KURV.
And the eating champ, this disgusting, I know that's a commentary, disgusting eating competitions. It's just awful. This guy named Jaws, Joey Chestnut, he's back up in New York and Brooklyn at Coney Island, participating in the Independence Day, 4th of July hot dog eating competition. He is the all-time record holder for eating hot dogs. What was that for, like in 10 minutes? Yeah. Right? Like a 10-minute competition? 76 hot dogs. He munched those down back in 2021, and he'll be participating in that hot dog eating competition at Nathan. It's 7:09. It's AccuWeather time. It's AccuWeather meteorologist Jeffrey Nordine joining us. I want to say thank you to Dougie and all the gang over at Martin Farm and Ranch. And happy Independence Day. Hope you have a safe one. On behalf of Dougie and all the crew at Martin Farm and Ranch, where they carry Purina Feed, certified dealer for Purina Feed. It is the best. Martin Farm and Ranch in Edinburgh on Monte Cristo. Meteorologist Jeffrey Nordine joining us. So what do you think, Debbie? Rain in the forecast today. I know you put a little bit there. How about tomorrow when it really counts? We got fireworks shows tomorrow night.
Yeah, nothing tomorrow, but today it's more or less very spotty. And in fact, if you look at radar right now, if you were to look at the state of Texas, there's a lot of these very, very disorganized showers and even some rumbles of thunder. It's just a very large, broad area of this. We eventually kind of drape down into South Texas, but very briefly today. So that's about it. Tomorrow and through the weekend is going to be nice with temps in the low to mid 90s and sunshine every day, except for a few clouds. Got to mix in some of those.
Okay. The Tropical Coverage 2025 update. Anything new from those computers?
Well, let's see here. We are still looking at now a high risk of tropical development along the southeast coast from July 4th through the 7th. And then, I suppose I should tell you where, across Florida and the southeast coast. That's a tropical wave that's going to push from the west to the east on the west side of Florida, and then really affect like Savannah, and then also portions of South Carolina and even North Carolina too.
Sure. Long range for the Caribbean and the Gulf of Mexico. Anything popping up on the computers?
Nothing really showing up. So we're our newest map goes through the 17th of July. Nothing for the Caribbean, nothing for Gulf, Gulf, and then the July 4th through the 7th. We have that high risk right now.
Let's see here.
Food calendar?
Yeah, I didn't write it down. I thought I did, unless I'm looking at the.
I will pull it up. I got it always on a tab here.
Yeah.
July 4th is Independence
July
for
3rd.
Meat Day. So if you're vegetarian, it's your day.
You're looking at the July 4th list, right? Independence meat. Okay. Yeah, today the 3rd. Let's get some.
The 3rd.
Yeah,
My
sorry.
bad. Yeah. Eat beans.
There you go. Charros, refried.
Just says eat beans.
Or borracho beans. Yeah. So eat your beans day. Today.
And I realized I skipped to July 4th. I can't believe I did that. And then chocolate wafer. I almost read that as chocolate water. I was like, wait a second. The F looked like a T to me, so I had to really zoom in on that.
What's the name of that? Is it Yoo-hoo? That's chocolate?
Yeah, something like that.
Chocolate wafer day and eat your beans day.
Yep.
And it's got to be like hot dog day tomorrow, right? Or some barbecue day tomorrow as well.
They have National Barbecued Spare Ribs Day.
Oh, my good. Yeah.
That's tomorrow.
It's appropriate. All right, pal. Thanks for the update. Calling next hour. That's AccuWeather meteorologist Jeffrey Nordine on 710 KURV. Let's see some of the other news of the morning. European astronomers have discovered what appears to be an interstellar object that's traveling through the solar system.
The European Space Agency says the object appears to be 12 miles wide, and its trajectory suggests it's from outside the solar system. In a post, the ESA said telescopes around the world are trained on the object, which is just the third known interstellar object to pass through our solar system. The remote-controlled robotic telescope called the Virtual Telescope Project will host an online viewing of the interstellar object on YouTube tonight. I'm Tammy Trujillo.
A new study, which is actually a collection of numerous studies, the conclusion of that new study saying that there is no safe amount of processed meat. In fact, they say that even small amounts of processed meat combined with sugary drinks, combined with other forms of trans fat, will increase type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and colorectal cancer. And where is this person? Oh, here it is. Michigan's oldest resident, who happens to be the third oldest person in the country, will be turning 114 tomorrow on Independence Day. Bonita Gibson credits her longevity to eating potatoes. She and her husband were potato farmers for the longest time. And she also says, have a positive attitude, Freddie. So you might want to change your attitude, Fred. So you have a positive attitude and eat potatoes, you'll get to live to be 114. Yeah, well, I don't know who you're talking about, dude. The only yeah, well, I'm the only one working with you, like 8 hours a day until management shows up around midday. Is that when your day goes south? It goes worse. It's bad now. It gets even worse. So change your attitude, Freddie. Positive attitude. Be a team player, Fred. Come on. Be a team player. All right. You'll get yourself in trouble. You never know. Maybe management is awake at this time of the morning, tuning in. We got our county judge, Richard Cortez, up next on the Valley's Morning News. Had a conversation with him. The key to solving poverty and misery is economic opportunity. We need more jobs. We need more industry. His passion, along with other leaders, to bring more industry, get more jobs in South Texas, wants to continue that, announced his recent re-election bid. Conversation with Hidalgo County Judge Richard Cortez next on the Valley's Morning News.
Eggland's Best, the only eggs with more fresh and delicious and on the Radio Potami app.
News Talk 710 KURV is your go-to station in South Texas in the event of a hurricane. It's called Tropical Coverage 2025. All the interviews and information you need to hear during an event like that. Tropical Coverage 2025 on 710 KURV. And yes, online, live on all the platforms like YouTube and X and everything else. Yeah, we're doing all that stuff in the event we need to, right? Thank you to Lee's Pharmacy. Thank you to McAfee Insurance. And big thanks to Mike's Plumbing, Electrical, and AC. And I welcome back to the studio a dear friend. Richard Cortez is our county judge for Hidalgo County. And a few days ago, he said, I'm running again for Hidalgo County. Producer Freddie and I were reflecting on the fact that he's been almost 8 years as county judge. And the 4 years before COVID and during that awful season, COVID as well. Freddie said, man, it seems like you've been there forever. Yeah, I think the whole COVID thing made a big impression and impact on us. Welcome back to the studio, Judge. So best you can over the past, 8 years, if you could just tell me like a quick elevator speech, 2-3 minutes, some of the accomplishments, and where do you see us going from here? What would you like to accomplish in the next 4?
Well, let me go with what we want our future to be. As county judge, I become aware of a lot of information, and in studying the components of our county, because we all have a duty to try to make things better for people. We don't know how to make things better for people. We don't know who you are, how to contact you, how to evaluate you, to put you in the path, for prosperity. And that's why I started the Prosperity Task Force. Because if you stratify our population in Hidalgo County, and officially we're 900,000, there's information out there that we have at least 100,000 undocumented workers working here. I think our real population is closer to 1.2 million. So if you stratify the population, 49%, according to the best information we have, do not even have a high school education. Wow. So right now, with the threat of loosening government funding for different programs that we have for the elderly, for poverty and things of this nature, we better start working on helping those people create human capital so they can rely on themselves. They can rely on the value that they bring to some employer to be compensated sufficient enough to, to raise their families and have a good quality of life. So who's responsible to do that? Well, in the past, we've had this really wonderful business plans. I had one when I was mayor in McAllen, but it only involved McAllen, and other cities have business plans. But we need a regional plan to really help us reach our greatest potential. And what I have found out is that the only way we can reach our full potential is to work regionally. And that regionalization means that we start by investing in ourselves, because we're not going to be competitive out there in recruiting and bringing the investment and the jobs that we need if we don't have the right ingredients to offer businesses that we're promoting.
The greatest resource that we have, in whether it was Mike Allen at EDC or Bill Summers, for the longest time, the greatest resource we have is our population.
Oh, you're going back a few years, my friend. I didn't know you were that old.
Let's see. Those are when I was wet behind the ears, a little reporter. I was blessed that they took me under their wing, along with my former CEO, Lance Hawkins, who explained to me, son, you need to focus on the economy, focus on education, on the economy, on the chamber, on EDC. And Bill and Mike did a wonderful job in teaching me how many things work around here. But consistently through these years, it's our young population. It's our young people. And even so, even our adults who can receive technical training to get, for example, the other night I was at some award ceremony. One of the county offices awarded you for some of the work where they're taking adults, giving them the skill set as simple as welding or cutting steel. And these people are making like thousands of dollars now. And we have plenty of those. An adult high school on the way, things like that.
Well, I tell people I have 2 garage doors in the old place that I lived in. I now gave it to my daughter. And when those gates didn't open, I didn't know how to fix them. Okay. So I needed somebody to call somebody who knew how to fix them. So, there are a lot of services out there that are needed in our economy, that are needed by society. You don't always have to have a college degree. It's good to have one, but there's also a lot of places for somebody without one.
Yeah. And that's one way to get people out of the poverty. I know your passion is to get them out of poverty, get them the skill set necessary to make their own money. But what an economy we live in. We've never seen this prosperity that we live in right now, with the Port of Brownsville just hitting it out of the park, with Elon Musk here and high tech showing up around here. It's a different valley than it was just a few decades ago, which represents opportunity for our people.
No, absolutely, for sure. But we are living in a very competitive environment. We're now competing globally. And if people think that our best effort for going to the future is to offer cheap labor, I've got to send you back to school, because there's a lot of other places that have cheap labor in multi quantities than we do. So we better figure out that we're going to attract the type of investment we want, the type of jobs that we want, is by offering smart labor, not cheap labor.
Hidalgo County Judge Richard Cortez, he's running again for county judge. The other night, there was a gathering of supporters near the river. And you mentioned to the folks who had gathered that it is important to remember that, yes, the international market that we're in, along with potential partnerships just south of the river, continued partnerships within in Mexico, but also in the valley, people need to stop thinking of how they work in silos. They recruit in silos. It's got what you just mentioned, the regionalism. And to that effort, there is a new effort in thankfully, we're there in Houston with you with Joaquin Spalmer, to try to push that idea through private industry and combined with local government and EDC, see if we can land something like that. You can't mention much of that, but I asked you a little bit off air. Are you seeing the phone ring as a result of this new nascent effort?
Yes, we are. But take a look. It's common sense, and it's also science. Why do we have malls? Okay, we have the Plaza Mall here in McAllen, which has been one of the most successful malls in the whole United States. What made our mall successful is because we offer the customer many choices, okay? And whoever goes there doesn't go to the same store, they go to different stores. So what we've done with Realplex is we said, look, we're going to adopt the model of the mall, and we're going to show off everything we have. And do you know that if we add the 4 counties of South Texas along with the northern border of Mexico, we have many, many, many things to offer. We even have a spaceport. We have an island. We have a medical school. We have 13 international bridges. We have 7 airports. We have a lot of acute care hospitals. We have universities. We have so much to offer. And if you just narrow that down to one city, then you only have a fraction of what I just said. So why limit yourself when you're marketing to just a fraction of what we have? This way, when we bring somebody to the mall, and once they're in the mall, then they can go wherever they want to, and we can't deceive them, and we can't guide them anywhere. They have to find out what they're looking for, and hopefully they'll find something within that area.
You made mention of some of the industries that are expanding really quick. Thank God for a medical school, and people like over at DHR, other big hospital groups that are also investing, pumping money here in South Texas, the spaceport, of course, with Elon Musk, and of course the Port of Brownsville, with everything. That's Cameron County, that's Brownsville. We all benefit from that. There's a runoff and a synergy and a symbiotic relationship between Hidalgo and Cameron County that continues to grow because of all the work at the port. But as a former mayor for McAllen and very passionate about economic development issues, which I understand that's why you opened up an economic development office at the county, with Randy taking care of that right now. What do you see as the low-hanging fruit for our county, for Weslaco, Mission, McAllen, Edinburgh? What are the industries you think we can capture, put the net out there and try to capture real quick?
Well, let me tell you the ones that we shouldn't go after, the ones that need a lot of power and a lot of water, because right now we don't have a lot of power and a lot of water. And those are 2 goals that I have going forward, is to how do we eliminate those barriers and increase our capacity for water and power. What we do have is we have a very young workforce. Some of the people that we're talking to are wanting to come here because they looked at our statistics, they looked at our demographics, and we have a lot of young women, okay, between the ages of 18 and let's say 25 and 30, And that is, believe it or not, a big draw. A lot of people are looking for that because they want to train them in some of this new technology that's out there. So if they come here and they train you right now with this offside work and whatever, you can be working for someone in London, England, out of McAllen, Texas, or Edinburgh, Texas. So we think that creating value to that human capital is going to bring us. Now, when I studied all of the companies that have moved into Texas recently, either had moved into Texas or expanded, there was about 360 of them, sir, 360 of them, and only 2 were listed in the Rio Grande Valley. Well, to borrow a phrase from the space program, Houston, we have a problem. if the growth and the new companies coming in are going somewhere else other than to the Rio Grande Valley, we're missing opportunity. What's another clue? Another clue is a lot of the people that we are graduating from our universities and colleges, they're not being rewarded with a job here, so they're having to leave. So what are we going to do? I don't have the answer for you right now, per se, but we are studying all that information so we can be able to come up with a good program to reach out to those people. Because I'll end with this. There's 3 things you need to do. What do you want? Where would you find what you want? And what do you have to do to attract it to come here? That's exactly what we're doing. And I believe we're going to be very successful because at the end of the day, we have a lot of things to offer.
Yeah, and on that 3-legged table, which is people, power, water, trained people. I think we're there with their with the institutions that educate, from South Texas College, Texas Southmost, TSTC, the university, all that. We're there with the young people that can't be trained. The school districts training our huercos to become.
We're graduating about 24 to 25,000 high school graduates in the 4 counties in South Texas every year,
and getting better at it. You're giving them some job skills to work at the port immediately. On the other 2, as you mentioned, water and power, those need to be prioritized at the county level. What can you do in order to find a way to get those resources up and running to make sure we got everything, power and.
Well, that's the reason
Water.
we have to apply our regional effort. The discussions I've had, with the state of Texas is Texas has a water problem. So let's approach our water problem on a Texas-wide basis, and we're going to be a segment or a portion of that. There's pockets of a lot of water in some areas, and there's pockets of no water in some areas, but we have to have a system of distribution. No county like Hidalgo County or even the Rio Grande Valley, all 4 of us, can solve that problem because it takes, billions of dollars for that infrastructure. But if we don't start now, we'll never finish the race if we don't start it.
Judge, thanks for stopping by.
Absolutely.
Call anytime. Or Hidalgo County Judge Richard Cortez. You're in tune with the Valley's Morning News. News Talk 710 KURV. Also at Radio Para Mí. Download that free app. If you need some help from FEMA after the late March rains and floods and the thunderstorms, destructive winds, all that thunder shower activity and flooding, FEMA is starting to will be shutting down their FEMA disaster recovery centers. The one in McAllen will close on July 9th. The one in Rio Grande City will be closing on July 12th. And bit by bit, they'll be closing the other centers that they opened up in South Texas. Ford is recalling hundreds of thousands of vehicles. According to Ford, the recall involves about 200,000 vehicles. It's the rear view camera that might fail on the Ford F-150, the Bronco, Mustang, and other vehicles. Del Monte is filing for bankruptcy. According to Del Monte, the company began voluntarily working Chapter 11 proceedings to try to protect their assets and begin to sell some assets. And the U.S. men's national soccer team will be facing Mexico. And the CONCACAF or CONCACAF.
It's CONCACAF.
CONCACAF?
Yeah.
Are you sure it's not CONCACAF?
No,
CONCACAF?
it's not that.
Okay.
Nope.
So that's Sunday, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Where?
In Houston, actually.
Oh, man.
Mhm.
That's going to be great. So, and it's, what does this mean? What is it
It's
like?
the Gold Cup, like the annual Gold Cup competition.
Were you watching the other night when they were doing, was it penalty kicks?
Yes.
Against Costa Rica?
Yes.
That's the one where you were at an event
Yes.
and people were screaming because they were watching it 30 seconds ahead on some other feed.
Yes.
And you were going, la, 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 I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
Because my feed was 30 seconds behind.
Okay, so is the U.S. men's national team, are they pretty good?
It's not the A team, it's the B team.
Oh.
And maybe even the B, C team.
So is that the Mexican A team, though?
I'm not sure. I don't follow Mexican soccer.
Okay,
sorry.
so it's part of the
Mexican football.
2025 CONCACAF game on Sunday. What time?
I think 6 p.m. our time.
So what are you watching? Online?
No, it's Fox. It'll be on Fox.
All right. This is your station for real sports, like baseball. Houston Astros baseball. Play-by-play. They're playing the Dodgers this weekend. Tune in weeknights, weekends for Astros baseball on 710 KURV. We got sports up next.
It's hurricane season. The time to prepare.
Followed by Shea Whitcomb's first career home run in the second.
2-2. And Wickham hits it high in the air and pretty deep to left center field. Back is back at the wall. Looking up. See you later! Shea Whitcomb goes deep for the first time as a big leaguer. And the Astros lead it 2-0.
The Astros went on to score 3 more on their way to victory. They have an afternoon game today trying for the sweep. And the U.S. men's national team are on their way to the Gold Cup final. They defeated Guatemala yesterday 2-1 to advance. Diego Luna scored both goals for Team USA. The final is set to take place on Sunday. Team USA will take on Mexico, who defeated Honduras yesterday 1-0. The match is slated to start at 6. I'm Dylan Moore, TSN Sports Minute.
Dylan says, Mexico, like Henry Cuellar. Did you get that? Mexico, he calls it Mexico. Right? Also, as a result of Jose Altuve and the hit he got last night, he's number 2 as far as most career hits for the Houston Astros franchise. Right behind, far behind Craig Biggio. He passed Jeff Bagwell last night. So Jose Altuve, 2,315 hits. He still has about 700 hits before he catches Craig Biggio. AccuWeather says highs today should be low to mid 90s. Chance of rain this afternoon. And hardly a chance for tomorrow. So good news for tomorrow, the fireworks shows. The Border Bridge wait times as posted on KURV.com. Again, right-hand margin at the website. You'll see the reports. And no delay if you're driving back to Brownsville. That's the most recent report. And for McAllen, 30, 40 minutes on San Luis, Hidalgo, and Foreign. Thank you much for making us a part of your morning. We do everything on the smartphones and smart devices we have, right? So discover the free app. It's called Radio Para Mi. Download it and join 710 KURV right now at Radio Para Mi. Some business news check of your money up next.
If you're looking to improve your overall health and have a better quality of life, Dr. T's
worse. Experts say increasingly severe storms and other disasters, combined with rising housing costs, are pushing rates even higher. Futures are slightly higher. Wednesday, the Dow Industrials lost 10. That's your money now.
There's lots to love in President Trump's so-called big, beautiful bill for the business community.
That's because the budget bill includes a significant permanent tax cut for small business owners.
This bill will create a lot of new jobs in a lot of key sectors.
Glenn Hammer, who heads the Texas Association of Business, says the bill also lets small businesses immediately deduct the full cost of equipment and property from their taxes. That, he says, encourages expansion and modernization. The U.S. Chamber of Commerce is cheering the parts of the bill that make it cheaper and easier to invest in domestic manufacturing.
Don't forget to join us tomorrow if you're in McAllen. You're going to be enjoying the fireworks show. Tune into News Talk 710 KQRV, 9 p.m. We'll be providing the music. You're on Talk Radio. Also online at Radio Para Mi. Big thank you to a friend of the station, Jane Cross. Thank you, Jane, from Hide and Seek Self-Storage in North McAllen near Tres Lagos. They're providing us the music here on KURV for tomorrow. AccuWeather says highs today, low mid-90s. Still a chance of rain for this afternoon. And less of a chance for tomorrow. So it looks like the fireworks shows will be just fine tomorrow. This is the Valley's Morning News. This is News Talk 710 KURV. Lots of dinosaurs at the box office this weekend. That latest Jurassic movie. Any good? Let's see what Mom says. Movie Mom Nell Minow in about 3 minutes on 710 KURV. The Ryan and Brian real estate team is hiring. My friend Brian Reed is waiting for your phone call. Let's say you're in real estate. You're already, you've got your licenses and certifications, all that. You're an agent. You're looking to grow your business. Or let's say you're not licensed yet, but you've been thinking of pivoting. You've been successful at what you've done. You want to make some more money, advance your network even more. Because that's what you get to do. You learn the community. You get to network with all these businesses in the area. You're not licensed. Don't worry about it. My friend Brian Reed, he'll catch you up to speed. You'll be the Padawan. The Padawan is the student, right, Freddie? Right? Yeah. So, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm getting my Star Trek lingo, Star Wars lingo in line. Brian Reed, he'll be that's right. He'll be the master. You'll be the Padawan. He'll teach you. Brian Reed is at 956-307-4544. I'll give you that number briefly. Call him or go to the website, ryanandbrian.com. Click on the career tab. Again, if you're an agent, you want to do more business, you want to expand your network, looking to grow, or if you want to learn the real estate trade, Brian Reed will take care of it. 956-307-4544. The only team I'm calling to help me sell my home, it's the Ryan and Brian real estate team.
If you're selling your home, don't be trying. Call Ryan and Brian. Go to ryanandbrian.com.
You can also join us at Radio Para Mi. Download that free app. Listen on your smartphone. You can rewind any of the programming and interviews at Radio Para Mi. Welcome to the Valley's Morning News. It's News Radio for South Texas, exclusively on News Talk 710 KURV. Show producer Fred Cruz, AccuWeather meteorologist Jeffrey Nording. I'm Sergio Sanchez, and Mom, yes, Movie Mom Nell Minow on standby, about 90 seconds away. We got that dinosaur movie. Was that any good? But we'll see what she said. News on 710 KURV, a service of Jay Gonzalez, injury attorneys, ready to fight for you. Call 1-800-CAR-CRASH.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster.
We're going to pass this bill. President Trump's going to sign it.
it's going to be a great 4th of July.
Majority Leader Steve Scalise says the Republicans' so-called One Big Beautiful bill is brought to the House floor for a final vote expected this morning.
It's all designed to put a happy smile on the face of billionaires. That is inconsistent with the Declaration of Independence and what we should be celebrating on July 4th.
Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries giving a marathon speech. Bodies and survivors are being pulled from the sea where a ferry sank near Bali.
It was traveling between East Java and the popular resort Isle of Bali. Rescue work has been hampered by rough seas and bad weather, but the forecast is improving. Many of those pulled out alive were unconscious, having been in the sea for hours.
Fox's Jonathan Savage, there were 65 people on board the ferry when it went down in that bad weather. America's listening to Fox News.
It's that time of the year again. Anyone driving around Hidalgo County and they get pulled over for suspected DWI, the No Refusal Initiative has kicked in between now and Sunday. You get pulled over, you got to do that breath test or give a blood sample. You say, no, they'll take you in and force you to roll up your sleeve. They do this all the time, by the way, in Cameron County. They always have no refusal in Cameron County. And if you had plans to go celebrate Independence Day in Pharr, Texas, they've canceled it. Too much mud. All the rain. Yeah, it was all grass, and now it's all mud, the area that we're going to celebrate. Friday edition of the Valley's Morning News on Newstalk 710 KURV. There it is. Suddenly, this program becomes more beautiful. Nell Minow, movie mom Nell Minow joining us. So we got a bunch of dinosaurs at the box office this weekend. What do you say, Mom? Did you like the movie?
I did. Now, I want you to listen carefully because the plot is really complicated. The dinosaurs chase the people. The dinosaurs eat the people.
Yum.
And sometimes the people chase the dinosaurs.
But do they get to eat the dinosaurs as well? Maybe, it's 4th of July weekend. Open up the barbecue.
They extract some blood from the dinosaurs because what's happening now is Scarlett Johansson has taken over along with that handsome guy from Wicked, Jonathan Bailey, and they're great together. Mahershala Ali, always wonderful. And this time they are trying to track down the dinosaurs, which at this point have really pretty much been limited to the equator and no humans are allowed to go there. But it turns out the dinosaur blood may have the secret for some very important medication that is going to be a big moneymaker for pharma. And so they send a soldier of fortune played by Scarlett Johansson and, of course, the paleontologist with the cute glasses, that would be Jonathan Bailey, to get the dinosaur blood. And in the meantime, of course, the dinosaurs like to eat people a lot. So my tip for everybody is, if you don't know the character's name, don't get attached to them because those are the first to go.
And that's it for the weekend, right? The Jurassic movie.
Well, it's the 4th of July. People got other things they want to do. So you can stay home. I always say this on the 4th of July. Of course, we can watch the movie Independence Day. You can also watch every year on Turner Classic Movies. They show 1776 singing and dancing founding fathers, wonderful performances. Ken Howard as Thomas Jefferson, William Daniels as John Adams. I love that movie. Everybody should watch it. And then if you want to watch President of the United States played by John Cena, and the Prime Minister played by Idris Elba in an action comedy.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, that's on Amazon.
Okay.
It's Heads of State. It is very silly, but you know who really saves the movie for me is Jack Quaid, son of Dennis Quaid and Meg Ryan. He is just terrific. And then you got to stay through the credits to see him in one extra scene. And next week, love this time of year, blockbusters every week, Superman.
Yeah, Superman with the red shorts. The red shorts are back.
The red shirts, and this time we get to see Crypto. That's not the Bitcoin. That is Crypto, the wonder dog.
Precious little puppy.
Yeah.
Hugging a kiss to you. And movie Dad, is he in the background or is Dad?
Not this time. He's upstairs.
All right. Have a wonderful Independence Day, Mom.
Bye-bye.
Movie Mom, Nell Minow, every Friday on 710 KURV.
An illegal alien from Guatemala charged with raping a child in Massachusetts.
Summer is heating up, and so is our local economy. From sizzling business deals to community connections, News Talk 710 KURV and the Radio Potami app are here to keep you in the know. Download the Radio Potami app to stay informed and entertained. Whether it's local market updates, summer events, or the weather, we've got you covered. Support local, stay connected, and tune in to the pulse of Rio Grande Valley business. News Talk 710 KURV.